Walsh. We'll see what you think of these ones. So everybody, this is the Wacky Dating Stories on the Peter Walsh Show podcast for March 24, and it went a little nuclear out there, fellas. Went a little nuclear out there this month. I feel bad for some of these people here. Like, horrendous stories. Horrendous. I was just saying before we went, we're doing this in front of a live TikTok audience as well. And I don't know, man. I think maybe it is just everybody shaking off the winter. We're coming into the summer, spring and summer. So, maybe, there's a couple of full moons in the last few weeks. Maybe that's what's going on. We're all losing our minds. But the big one for this month has been dick pics. And I'm going to start off with a nuclear one. A woman even threw this up last week. By the way, guys, you have to excuse me. I've got my list here of all the bullet points. So if you're wondering what I'm looking at here. So a woman says last week on TikTok, 99% of men want your phone number because they want to send a dick pic. So in other words, if you match with a girl on Tinder or Bumble, 99% of us want your number just to send a dick pic. I'm sure there's people listening to this, or if you're watching on TikTok here, I know you're probably agreeing with me. That is the most ridiculous thing to say about men. You've got to have a problem with men here. Now listen, believe me, I know there's some a-hole men out there, alright? And I get it, and they can hurt people like crazy. I understand. But we're not all like this, okay? There's women out there too that can be complete a-holes as well. Let's be honest. We have to call both genders here, male and female. There's bad people on both sides here. But 99%? I mean, seriously, what I know of guys... I'm not even going to try and give you a percentage, because there's obviously going to be, every now and then, some fellas that are going to be sending a photo, but it wouldn't be the same guy. Like, a guy would have to be really drunk, first of all. Really drunk to do it. Okay? Unless the guy's like, wow, batshit crazy, okay? But out of 100 guys, let's say, if we're looking at a percentage, and anybody joining, watching on TikTok here, any of you boys here, jump in, please. Let me know what you think on this one. I would reckon maybe 5%. Jeez, again, that's not fair to even say. I could be unbelievably off the mark. It could be 1%. It could be less than 1%. It could be 5%. It could be more than 5%. But we don't know. We don't know. And, and I'm sorry, but it's hard to take a woman that says 99% of men only want your phone number because they want to send a dick pic. You can't believe that. You can't believe that. So it's hard to judge, really. It really is. And even somebody here on TikTok, Eva, thanks for jumping in. Yeah, there is a lot through our turn the conversation seedy, but really depends on the dating site. Yeah, look, I get that too. It can turn a bit seedy every now and then. I understand that. I understand. Not 99% of dudes are sending a photo of their dick pic instantly when they get your phone number. Let's cut the drama here, and I have to admit, even when I did see this post or this comment, my blood actually started boiling, I gotta say, on that one. I was jumping in for the boys instantly on that one. And I think, look, if anybody knows me here and you've heard some of my podcasts or my social media, I'm a fair guy. I would stand up for a woman if she's been screwed over. I'd stand up for a man if he's been screwed over. So I don't just jump on for men here. I don't, not at all. But no, that was not good. That was not good. And now the second story here we have. A woman was complaining that guys ask for your number. Let me just say that again. A woman is complaining that a guy's making the move to ask for your number. So this is off the story here, guys. This is not a dick pic story, but this is just a completely different message. And it kind of came from the dick pic thing on TikTok to then one girl was just mentioning this then. But have we got to a stage in society now where we're blaming men? We're getting pissed off that men are making the move? Is this where we've become? Like, I'd understand if women were jumping in here. Okay? If women were jumping in asking the guy for the number because, well, hey, we're gonna take the reins here. We're gonna ask a guy for a move. We're all 50-50 these days. We're all 50-50, but taking a number is just, a man should make the first move. What's wrong with that? And then you know what happened? Guarantee this would happen. If this woman liked a guy and he didn't ask for the phone number, guess what she'd be doing? She'd be bitching and moaning that, oh, he never asked me out. What am I going to do? And she won't do anything then. Come on, guys. Come on. And look, and I understand there is some guys that, look, you give them your phone number or you add them as a friend on social media or whatever it is. I understand some of them can get a bit much, or they might even send you a photo of the dick pic, right? We're not denying that. But Jesus, we got to take the rough with the smooth here. What if men don't ask you for your number? I would say I've been asked out, from a girl, probably about 2 or 3 times in my life. In my whole life, 2 or 3 times. And they were all American girls. And not every American girl asked me out. Sorry, there was one Irish girl. Now, it was a turn on, I have to say. It was really cool. It was really cool, I gotta say. Now, I was going to eventually get around to asking them out, but they jumped in. So it was nice, and if anybody, believe me, ladies, for the ladies listening here on the podcast or TikTok, any guys, if you ask a guy out, make the first move, he's going to love it. He's not going to his friends, hey, you're not going to believe this, man. She's desperate, man. Like, there's none of that going on here. There's none of that going on. We're delighted. It's like, whoa, man, jeez, she really likes me. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. So what else do we have? Story number 3. Oh, this was a big one. I felt for this guy, this poor bastard. So a guy and girl are going out with each other for the last year. And guys on TikTok, I'm going to just jump in after this story. I'll just have a quick look at your comments in just a few moments, okay? I'll just get through this story here now, just for now. So guy and girl are going out with each other for a year. And girl is in a bar with her buddies. She bumps into her ex-boyfriend. Do we see where this is going already? So she bumps into the ex and she's having a chat with him. Friendly, casual chat. It's all good. She's not doing anything wrong at this stage. Then he drops a bombshell that he's leaving the country. This is people in Ireland now, and the guy's leaving to, I think was it America or somewhere? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But he's leaving Ireland, working away abroad. He's not going to be home for a couple of years. He might come home for Christmas and all that sort of thing. Yeah, maybe. But anyway, either way, he's gone. So, of course, she starts to kind of have a bit of a freak out. It's closure on the deal. She's like, oh my God. Oh my God. And they end up hooking up, kissing that night. Now, she says that she didn't sleep with the guy. We'll assume she's telling the truth. We don't know for sure, but we'll assume that because she didn't say anything in the message. And I never tell people's names anyway, as most of you guys know anyway. I keep this all anonymous. So she didn't have to not tell me. But then the boyfriend found out. Tell you, man, wherever you go these days, there's phones, there's videos, there's cameras, there's people with 50 eyes in the back of their head. You got to be careful. If you're going to end up cheating, you could easily get caught these days. Ears and eyes are everywhere. And quite honestly, I'm delighted for the guy because, hey, he found out. And I do believe the boyfriend that was cheated on definitely was deserved to be told. So he finds out, they break up. Guy can't get over it. Clearly not, because it clearly screams to me that she's not over the ex. And then she finally gets closure and it's all the feelings come running back. So the guy was dead right. If you're in that situation, guys, I wouldn't blame you either for dumping the guy or girl. Why wouldn't you actually? Like that's the way I'd be looking at it. It's clear as day the guy or girl's not over them. Clear as day. This isn't, well, it's my ex and we did always really get on, but, like you did end up breaking up with each other. So there was definitely toxic something between ye to some degree. So it did end for a bad reason. Nothing ends for a good reason. So there's still something. So it's not like, oh, well, we really did get on and it was the greatest ex relationship we've ever had, to be honest. So do you know what? Out of sheer like and respect for him or her, I'll hook them up with them that night. Give them a nice send-off. Yeah, like that's gonna fly. You know? Crazy stuff, guys. Crazy. So before we carry on with more of these juicy stories, let's see what some people are saying on TikTok. Padraig, brilliant podcast. Well, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I try and be useful and hopefully I can give some advice to things. Eva, I wouldn't say 99%, but a lot. All right. Well, let's keep coming back. We're on about dick pics here. It's certainly not even close, Eva, if you're still watching. It is nowhere near 99% of men are sending dick pics straight away when we get your phone number. Like, let's remember this scenario here. The very moment a guy gets your phone number, 99% of us apparently, we don't need drink in us, we don't need anything, drugs in us, we're just going to send you a dick pic straight away. 99% of us. Come on. It's not happening. That's not happening. Yeah. And the girl, Amy here is saying, I can't believe that some men just want to chat. Can you expand on that one actually? Linda, do poll and ask how many women get unsolicited dick pics. Okay. Let's do a poll, shall we? Interesting. Why not, actually? In fact, these polls are quite good. So let me just type it out, guys. And I'll just delete this one here now. This should be interesting. Now, listen. Some of you, I don't know, whoever's listening on here, maybe that woman who said 99%, maybe you're on here. Please, ladies. I'm a guy. I know what guys are like, and I know guys would send photos and they wouldn't be announcing it to their friends either. But let's have a look, okay? I'm even going to throw it out there for you in fairness. Okay, what percentage of men send a dick pic when... I don't believe I'm doing this. What percentage of men send a dick pic when they get your phone number straight away? Oh, bollocks. I'm limited with the... Alright, look, I'm just going to try and keep this short. What percentage of men send a dick pic? Alright, let's try that. Okay, will we say option A, under 50%? Will we say over 50%? Now we're going to go under. I'm going to say 10 to 25%, let's say. All right, I mean, that sounds fair enough. Okay, I'm trying to give everybody here now a good shot at the crack of the whip here. 25 to 50%. And then we'll go, what else will we have? 50 to 75. Why am I scared of these answers coming back? I don't know why. 75 to 100%. Okay. So, we're going to put it on for 5 minutes. Alright, here we go, guys. So, on TikTok right now, and you're going to hear it on the podcast, guys. The poll is out. Up at the top left corner, guys, you can see there's a little box there, okay? It's got a timer, 5 minutes. Let's get cracking. Hopefully, you'll send in an answer there. This is going to be interesting. Wow. So on TikTok here, again, you're told not to give your number on dating sites for security safety reasons. Oh, haven't we been here before? Like, I mean, I was even saying this on social media last week, guys. It's not that we want your number to stalk ye. I mean, if we could stalk you, we can just go on to try and find you on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram. Do you know what I mean? Phone numbers, like, how many phone calls do people get these days? People get bugger all phone calls. Why? Because no one's using the phone. So that means the function of a phone isn't really a phone anymore. So a phone number doesn't really apply. It's the apps that apply. Now I know, phone number, WhatsApp, yeah, but you can still message people on Facebook. You can still contact people on TikTok. I mean, I've got, normally for TikTok, when you need to be friends with somebody to send a message, but I have mine even set up because I know some people send in stuff to me, which is great, and I love that, by the way. But I can set it up where I can get messages without being someone's friend. Do you know? So it can be different. It can be different. Okay, just a couple of more comments here on TikTok, and then we're going to go back to some of the stories here. And, all right, somebody trolling. Okay, wonderful. I love the way they think I'm going to bite, like, for God's sake. All right. No, yeah, don't think the commentator meant instantly, but they get them without asking. Oh, the commenter. I'm sorry, the commenter. Well, maybe. Sam, under 10% in my experience. Okay, I was even saying 5, but all right, okay. I'll bite on that one. Maybe it is 10. I'll even go that far. I'll give you a bit of rope on that one. Sunshine here says 25%. That's a bit high, don't you think? But I'm going to keep an eye on that poll here now. Sinead here. Yeah, I've no problem giving my number as I can just block after if needed. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming to my rescue. This is what I've been saying. You can easily, and I was about to come around to that point in about 2 minutes from now because I had 1 or 2 other things to say. You can block somebody. You can block them on social media. You can block their goddamn phone number. So what's the problem here? I really don't see what the problem is. Now look, if you're giving out your address where you live right at the start, okay, now I'd be bloody concerned. Because, well, look, alright, that's not a good idea giving out my address here, you know, I don't know this guy or girl, what's gonna happen? Then I'd be worried, but phone number? You have complete control over your phone. Alright, let's keep an eye on the poll here. Is anybody clicking? Okay, here we go. Some results are in. Oh, so we've got 5 options, all 16.67%. So it's still nothing yet. But we got 16.67% for under 50% of men, over 50% of men, 10 to 25%, 25 to 50%, and 50 to 75% of men. All 5 options have 16.67% so far. So, okay, guys, we've got another, what? Another minute and a quarter for that one. So anyway, we'll keep that poll going. But right now, I'll be back to you guys on your TikTok comments in a few moments. I'm just going to continue on with some of these stories. And okay, here's another interesting one. A guy wears eyeshadow on a first date. He's wondering, he contacted me and he asked me to ask the girls what should he do. He's starting to wear eyeshadow. He's liking it. And what do people think? Especially the women. Some of the women were like, well, hey, each to their own. Some girls were saying, no, I wouldn't like it. Some girls were saying, well, hey, cool, whatever you want to do. Wouldn't turn some girls off. I don't know, man. Again, I can't speak being a woman here, but Jesus, if I was a woman and I see a guy coming in with eyeshadow on, I mean, what's next? Pink shoes? No, I don't know. It's not male. It's not being a man here, you know. And I'm not judging anybody here who will do it. All right, you wear whatever the hell you want. I couldn't give a damn. I'm just saying, like, why go that direction? You know, be a man here. You know what I mean? Like, shouldn't we think? Okay, the poll has ended. I'm gonna do that poll again, actually, guys. I think that's a good poll. We're gonna give it another 5 minutes, but. Yeah, back to the eyeshadow. What do women think here on TikTok? Katrina here. Unless they're David Bowie, then no. Laugh out loud. Fair enough. Another Katrina. No, and no. That's what I'd say too. I just don't understand why women do it. And then actually, because I posted that video, then a lady came in that she went on a date with a guy, first date, and he was wearing platforms. 4-inch platforms. Lord God. Really? Is this where we've got to? Like, so obviously the guy is a small guy. He's wearing his platforms, make himself look taller. But dude, what are you doing? Your date is with you. She's going to see the platforms. She's going to know you're not as tall as the 4-inch platforms. Everybody in the bar, everybody walking past you on the street is knowing instantly that you're not that tall. So we're not going, oh wow, he's so tall, isn't he? No. I mean, if I saw a guy who was, I don't know, whatever, he was 6'10", but he had 10-inch platforms on, I wouldn't be impressed that he's so tall. I'd be just like, why are you hiding this, man? Seriously. I think there's some serious insecurity problems here. I mean, Lewis Hamilton, Formula 1, he does it. Why? Well, he's an insecure dumbass anyway. God. 4-inch platforms. Hamilton wears 4-inch platforms. Enough said about the guy. I'd fire him just for that. If I was Toto Wolff and Mercedes, there's no way I'd have him on the team. 4-inch platforms? Give me a break. My God. Alright, let's keep going with these stories here. Right, what else do we have? Oh yeah, by the way, this Facebook page, this is actually to do with me here, by the way. I got posted on this Facebook page called Are We Dating the Same Guy? You know, it's funny, I was only talking about this about 6 months ago, because some girl contacted me on Facebook, and she says, hey Peter, have you heard about this page called Are We Dating the Same Guy? So she tells me all about it, and I'm like, oh my God. So I actually got even in trouble on social media, because when I heard about this, and this is before I was even posted in the group. Yeah, I got into the group. Yay! I was like, God, can I get a shout out? I was gutted that I wasn't in there sooner. But like, guys are getting listed in there. Some girls are taking a video or a photo of a guy. So for instance, me. And they're saying, are we dating this guy? Are you not dating him? What's he like? This and that. Now, I have no idea what was said about me. And I don't give a shit, to be honest with you. But at the same time, I want to warn people of this stuff. This is not good. And I was warning people on my social media, and this is why I got in trouble. I was just trying to warn people that, look guys, you know, I'd stay away from these type of pages. That you don't know what strangers are saying to you. God only knows what they're making up about men or women. Because there's a man's one too, talking about are we dating the same women. Maybe you knew that or not, I don't know. But like seriously, like what if guys are lying about some girl because he actually wants her for himself? And then vice versa, girls are lying about men. You know? And like, I'm sorry, but I would never go into one of these groups. And I was even warning people before I even got put up into these groups. Guys, if I knew, and I'm not dating anybody right now, so like, I don't even know why I'm in this group. I'm not dating anybody. I've gone on a few dates here and there. Very strange. But the thing is, if I knew a girl was in this group, and if I found out, and if I was on a date, that's it, I'm out, done. I am never, ever going on a date with this girl ever again. Even if it was 10 minutes before the date, and I was just about to get the bus or a taxi in to meet her. 10 minutes before I'm leaving the door, I'm out the shower, putting on the aftershave, and if I found out 10 minutes before I'm leaving the house that she was on it, no, I'm contacting her instantly. I wouldn't even feel bad contacting her 10 minutes to go, because I'd be like, listen, no, this ain't happening. Forget it. I'm done. Not a hope am I going anywhere near somebody who's in these groups. And hey, listen, you know, I'm not saying that everybody is like that on these groups that you're all, you know, scheming and talking and chatting. I can understand that there's some people spectating in these groups too. But guys, I'm telling you now, I still would have a red flag about anybody, because I wouldn't know where to start with them in terms of, oh God, does this person complain on these pages? Or aren't they? You just don't know. But poll is in, guys. The poll is in. Before we'll come back to the stories in 2 seconds. Now it's a different result. 50% think it's over 50% of men send dick pics to women. And 50% think it's 10 to 25%. What do people think of that? 2 different sets of results. 2 different sets of results. It's mad, isn't it? First it was 16% for all 5. Now it's down to 2. Strange. Well, we're going to do one again in a few moments, because as you can see, like there's people kind of logging on to the thing, then they're going off. They don't want to watch it anymore. Then other people are logging on. Some people are staying on. So we're getting different people coming in waves here, which is kind of interesting. We get different feedback. But okay, back to the stories. So where were we now? Oh yeah, so guys, listen. You know, and I'm going to say it again. About these groups. Seriously. And ladies, and I will tell you this, okay? I will tell you this. I was just saying that if any guy knew that you were in one of these groups of the Are We Dating the Same Guy? Most guys, I think, would be running for the hills if you're in one of these groups. And how do you know the guy hasn't seen or known some other girl in there? Like, I know this other guy actually in Cork City here. He was telling me about the group and I was like, oh yeah, man, I've heard about these groups. I even got in trouble for warning people don't go near these things because you never know what strangers are saying to you. And he was showing me screenshots. He knew a girl who was in one of these groups. And then he knew another girl because some girl was commenting and he went, oh my God, I know that girl who's commenting about me. So like word gets out quick. Word gets out very quick. People are taking screenshots and sending it to people. So anyway, listen, if you want to be in the groups, great. If you don't, okay. A live podcast breakup we had there only recently, guys. I mean, talk about a nuclear month March has been. It's been unbelievable. As we were doing a live TikTok, we had a guy looking for advice. He basically had a girlfriend. Then he had the girlfriend's best friend who was a guy, and he wasn't sure of him. He couldn't make out how he was going to be, and then we were asking him questions, and then he turned around and he said, well, the guy always said, like, the best friend is always going around saying that, oh, well, most guys hate me and they don't like me and I don't have any guy friends. I went, bull, absolute, total rubbish talk. Now he's the victim, and I said, well, hang on, well, what was he actually like? And guys, I'm going to try and be useful on this one, you know, like, be careful of these guys. Like, this is one big red flag when they start saying that they don't get on with the same gender of them, right? If it's a male and no guys like him, or if it's a woman and no girls like her, that is a huge red flag. Because I asked this guy, the boyfriend, I said, well, what is he like, do you think? He goes, actually, he's sound enough. So, like, if anybody would have a problem with the guy, it would be the boyfriend, right? You'd be looking, well, let's say he mightn't, but he'd be looking for flaws in this guy, or he'd be suspicious of the guy. Very understandable. Until you get to know the guy, and maybe he's not, maybe he is. But that's the thing. The guy didn't know what to make of him, and yet he still said he was sound out. So, like, for a guy that's, quote, hated, no guys like him, the boyfriend thinks he's actually a nice guy? Like, there you go. That just tells you a lot. You know? And then he goes off. I'm still on the podcast. He goes off, breaks up with the girl. As I'm recording live, comes back to us. Hey guys, I just broke up with her. We're all like, Jesus, what? What the hell? Couldn't believe it. So, and loved his balls, man. Admired his balls. He obviously got to the stage where he was 99.9% there. He just needed that extra little, yeah, you know what? Everybody thinks he's dodgy. Yeah, screw this. He just needed that little, tiny little touch push off the cliff. And guess what happened? As I'm recording, he comes back on the live, tells us he breaks up with her, and he also tells me that the girlfriend responded, and then the best friend responded to the guy and said, hey, don't worry, buddy, I'll look after your girlfriend. Something like that. Wink. Sneaky mother... Oh my God. I mean, there you go. We just exposed the guy. You know? And I think those relationships are doomed, guys, if you've got that cock blocker friend, whether it's a man or woman. You know, because the chances are, again, your girlfriend should believe you, should trust you. Now, again, how long have you been going out with her? Maybe the girlfriend should be saying, well, hang on a second. If there's anybody else saying this about my boyfriend, okay, but why is this guy... Like, the girlfriend should have known, well, hang on a sec. This guy has no best friends. He's always around me. Isn't it possible that he's got an angle? Like, even if he was a gay best friend, maybe the gay guy would be jealous, right? And he just doesn't want anybody going near his friend, his pal, his best friend, right? You could maybe see that, but the guy wasn't gay, single, straight. So, yeah, I just keep an eye out for these people. I'm telling you guys, keep an eye out for these guys, and especially when they say, I've got no friends. but I really get on with you. Yeah, right. They're full of crap. Absolute full of crap. And let's see. Girl cheats on boyfriend with best friend. Oh yeah, she's wondering how to get over it. Well, this one didn't last very long on TikTok there last week. Girl actually emails me. Cheats on her boyfriend with his best friend. And she's wondering how does she get over it. Jesus Christ. The balls on some people, man. The balls on some people. I mean, at the end of the day, you go cheating on your girlfriend or boyfriend with their best friend. Screw you, man. Or woman. Screw you. You made your bed, you lie in it. Suck it up. You're going to have to get over it yourself. I wouldn't be offering any advice to anybody with that. Nope. Screw you. How dare you go there in the first place? You do never, ever go after your friend's girl or guy or exes even. Even like for me, that's a huge no-no. You never go near the ex. Ever. Anyway. Okay, let's have a look at TikTok. Anybody? There's quite a few comments. Let me just check. And where we are now with some of these comments, guys. Blonde. I've never been sent one. Okay, we're still talking about dick pics. I'm pretty picky about who I'll connect with, though. Alright, well, blonde ambition, is it? Fair enough. If you're picky, you're picky. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. At least you're on the lookout, you know, which I understand that. No, ask again how many women have gotten unsolicited pics after giving number, yes or no. Alright, let's do another poll here again, will we? Poll number 3 coming up, ladies and gents. Let's get it going. Start again. And here we go. Another 5 minutes. So, how many men, what percentage of men send the dick pic when they get your phone number? There's a poll on the top left, guys. Please join in that poll and give us your vote. See what you think. We're getting a lot of different results. We've done 2 already, and geez, totally different results. With different waves of people jumping in on the live, jumping out of the live. We'll see now in a second. Sinead here is saying, I think from Tinder and POF, I got lots of pics, but none from guys from Badoo. Interesting. I haven't heard much of Badoo these days, actually. Yeah, actually, I've barely heard about Badoo. I've heard about Hinge, Bumble, Tinder, of course. I haven't heard much of Badoo. Interesting to see what you guys think of Badoo on TikTok here. At least we're getting some live feedback. What's Badoo like? Ladies and gents, if you could let us know, that would be great. Katrina, I have a whole gallery of them at this stage, dick pics. I might make an artwork with them, haha. Well, at least you can see the funny side of it. Blonde ambition, who has time for these extracurricular groups and activities? Yeah, I know, especially that group that's, are we dating the same woman or man? I mean, I wouldn't be entertaining that in the slightest. Blonde, I date quiet, smart, nerdy gentleman types with no game. Issue solved. Well, you see, do you know what? At least you know what type of guy you like. Do you know what I mean? I think that's a great start for any relationship or any dating scenario if you want to stay single or you want to date people or you want to have something serious. That's a great way to start. At least you know what you're looking for. You're way ahead of the game already, knowing that. A lot of people don't like, you know? It's weird. No, yeah, just asked, have he got them after giving number? He will see what, oh yeah, we'll see what percentage now in a few minutes, guys. But I think, guys, you can check the poll as well, I think. It should give you the, but I'll obviously call them out in just a few minutes. So there's 3 minutes to go to put in the poll vote. Katrina, I don't bother dating because I even know what's real as anyone, especially on them apps. Fair enough. There is some scammers on these apps, guys, as well. So I think even some of these... Actually, why did I even forget about that point? What's wrong with me? Sorry, guys, I'm a little bit tired today. Had a long enough weekend. That was definitely something I wanted to bring up too. There's a lot of scammers on dating apps right now. So there would be scammers sending you messages. You know, pretending to be guys. Now, the chances are it probably is a guy, right? Would there be many women out there pretending to be a guy and sending dick pics? God only knows. I have no idea. I'm just going to assume it would be men, scammers, that would be doing this, right? Instead of women, but God only knows. God only knows. And Eva's coming in. Eva, or Badoo, there's a lot of con artists on it. Okay, speaking of con artists. Sinead, yeah, I joined Badoo as my two friends met guys there. Okay. Check out my groups as well, guys, if you're not in there. Hopefully you can get some luck. There's been quite a lot of success stories as well on there. Eva, yeah, there's a lot of scammers. Fair enough. A lot of scammers, yeah. I think there is, man. I think there is. Haven't heard a lot of POF. Okay, we're going to come back to TikTok comments there just shortly. Let's have a look at the poll. Now, we're not finished, but right now, 28.5% say for over 50% and over 10 to 25%. They're the two biggest ones with the biggest percentage. So we've got 28.5% of the people think that over 50% of guys send dick pics when they get your number. 28.5% of the people think that 10 to 25% of the men send a dick pic when you give them your number. And then we have 14.2% think it's under 50. Yeah, guys, I'm going to still go with 5. I mean, I think I'm being harsh to men here in general at 10%. I'm going to go 5% myself, I have to say. And that's not me, oh yeah, typical man standing up for the man. No, I'm not. I just don't think... I just don't know a lot of guys that would do it, you know? Anyway, look, I'm obviously wrong. I just don't know what the percentage is. Do you know what I mean? But okay, we're going to come back to the poll and the comments, guys, in a little while. Let's keep going with some of these stories, shall we? Okay, where are we? Oh, this is definitely, I think, for me, this is the worst dating story I've ever heard for a long, long time. Okay, guys, before I get into that one, I'll leave you on a cliffhanger for that one. The poll has closed. Now we've got the votes. So, 33% of the people think that over 50% send dick pics. 22% think that it's under 50%, and 22% think it's 10 to 25%. Then we've got 11% thinking it's 25 to 50%, and then 11% think it's 50 to 75% of people are men sending dick pics. Wow. Jesus. Interesting. We'll come back to TikTok comments there now and the poll in a minute, guys. Yeah, this is definitely the worst dating story, I think, now. There's some people saying, Peter, I've heard way worse, and fair enough. I agree, I understand. I don't know, for me, this is just horrendous. So, guy meets a girl on a dating app, as far as I remember. They end up chatting away, everything's all good, and actually they're chatting for quite a while. And they're getting on really, really well. They haven't met at this stage, but the banter's good, the chemistry they feel is really good. So the guy actually says, hey, listen, why don't we just go out for dinner? Let's forget about coffee, forget about drinks, let's just go straight to dinner, because they're getting on so well. She says yes, perfect, they go to the restaurant. Once they get to the restaurant, customer service is very, very slow that night. And they're waiting for ages for their food, and then he orders a plate of chips or something, French fries, chips. So eventually the chips come, and he's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Well, you know, that's understandable, right? You're hungry, you want your chips, what am I going to do? They're the wrong chips, right? So he's a bit pissed off even more now. He's like, oh, for God's sake, they're the wrong chips, what am I going to do? And he goes, oh, screw it. By the time I get another plate of chips, it could be another half an hour, whatever it was. So he says, forget it, to hell with it. I'll just leave them on the table. The girl says, well, you know, if you're not eating them, can I have some? So he even said that out loud now. He said that, look, forget it, just leave them there. It'll be grand. And she says, well, can I have some? He says, okay. The moment he said okay, the girl said that he just turned. Just got dark, heavy, intense. He turned, totally different person. And she was sitting there, and now he didn't say a word. She's sitting there going, this isn't about the plate of chips, is it? This can't be about the plate of chips. Because again, she's thinking it is, because it was literally just after when she asked, and then he went completely different person. Now she's thinking, geez, did I say that in a greedy way, in a selfish way? Was that being unmannerly of me? She didn't feel it was. And she certainly didn't think that she was being, in his face like, fuck you, give me those chips. Nothing like that. So, okay, let's assume it was. Bill comes at the end. He still hasn't said anything at this stage. The bill comes. He goes, listen, you've had some chips. I think we should, I think we should split the bill. So she says, but I thought you were going to buy me dinner, right? And he goes, well, yeah, but, you had some chips, right? Yeah, but you weren't eating the chips, yeah? No, of course, listen, she doesn't want to... She still feels that she doesn't want to be overkill and, screw it, like as in, well, look, okay, if I do owe money here, fair enough. But still, she's trying to sort of very politely say it to him that, well, hey, look, you did ask me here, like, really? She's not meeting him again. Anyway, that's for sure. But, like, where's the old school man here? Where's the old school guy? Seriously. What's wrong with this guy? Get over yourself, buddy. Like, I'm an old school guy, and listen, if women or men want to split a bill 50-50 on a date, well, by all means, I am certainly not going to make a woman feel that she's, uncomfortable not paying. Like, if a woman was insisting on a date that, Peter, no, please, I insist. Please allow me, let's go 50-50, okay? Look, I'm weird about these things, or look, I believe it's a woman's thing, we should do go 50-50. I'd be like, okay, absolutely. But when I'm going on the date, I'm assuming that I'm going to be buying the drinks. Now, on a date, I'd love if a woman actually offered, you know what I mean? Because, sometimes you wouldn't know, well, do they like me? So in many ways, I would like to buy 99% of the drinks. If she offered to buy me one drink, then I'm like, nice, okay, maybe she does like me. Now, again, that's if I'm not feeling the vibe, right? But I'm still not going to rule out that she doesn't like me or she does like me. I'm not going to jump off the deep end here on that one. I'm going to just go, okay, look, man, look, you did, it's the man's job. You should pay and get it done, man, So that's the way I'd be looking at that. But this fucking guy, he offered to pay for the dinner. He even suggested it to the girl. Well, man up, man. Man up and stop what you're doing. Oh my God. Can you imagine, like, I'm sorry, but like, if I was that and one of the lads asked me, hey, so how'd you get on last night, buddy? Oh, well, it wasn't very great, really. She had my plate of chips and, and I've explained that. I'd feel like the biggest a-hole the world has ever seen. I'd feel like the biggest a-hole the world's ever seen. There's no way I'm doing that. There's no goddamn way. Now, I've been in a situation on a second date where on the first date, I suggested we go out for a couple of drinks. Now, I'm assuming I'm going to pay, right? The first date, she didn't offer to buy one drink. We got about 7 or 8 rounds, right? We just ended up kind of just having a drinking session, right? But it was still a first date. We go on the date, I buy all 7, 8 rounds. Now, see, that doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I did start to wonder because we didn't actually kiss at the end of the date. We said we'd meet up again, and there was a little bit of flirty every now and then, but I still wasn't sure. Now, if she did buy me the drink on the date, I'd be like, all right, well, look, she's just being nice, man. She's being polite. Still wouldn't guarantee that she's interested, but it still wouldn't throw me off because I'm the man here. I asked her to go out. Suck it up, Peter. You go out and you buy the drinks. That's it. That's it. Now, on the second date, she suggested, will we do the same thing again? As in, let's go for some drinks. And now I'm thinking, all right, well, listen, I'm still the man. I'm still going to be buying drinks here. But the fact that she's suggesting the same thing, it's like, hang on. Is she suggesting now I'm going to be bringing her out to pay all the drinks? You see, now that's a different scenario. That's a different scenario because I did go along and I said, look, hey, Peter, you're the man here. You own up, you man up, and you buy the drinks here. Hopefully now she's not taking the piss here. She's not taking advantage because if she suggests going to a bar here for this, well, now that's a completely different ball game. I was hoping that she'd buy me at least 2 rounds, and she didn't. She bought me nothing. So do you know what? I still just said, do you know what? Let's just tick all the boxes here. Let's just round this off, finish the date off. I didn't even get to kiss her, and I bought all the drinks again on the second date. And I went, that's it, I'm done. Screw this. And guess what she did? She got on to me again the third time and suggested let's do the same thing. So I was like, yeah, good luck. Goodbye. Forget it. So, you know, guys, I know it can be a slippery slope, and dealing with money can be awkward sometimes with people. I get that. But, you know, look, hopefully this helps anybody out there, especially for women here, like, because this is what a lot of us men would actually be thinking here. You know, when we're going on a date and what to do with drinks or that or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I can't speak for every man, of course not. But this is what a lot of us would be thinking. So I hope that helps. Any of the ladies out there anyway. And yeah, so let's move this on. Guys, we'll come back to TikTok there in one more moment. I'll just check out your comments in a sec. So we'll just do one more story here from Whacky Dating March. And, oh yeah, here we go. Plastic surgery, man. Jesus, this is a shocking one to me. Poor girl here. She's in her 50s. She contacts me last week. She goes on a date with a guy in his 50s, okay? This isn't a 20-year-old guy. This is a guy. She went on a first date. He's in his mid-50s. He's at the table. She's never got any plastic surgery. She's never got botox, lip fillers. She's never got a boob job. She's never got a bum job, a leg job, anything of the sort. Nothing of the sort. And the guy starts to take the piss out of her and putting her down that she needs to get some, and why isn't she doing it? You should be doing it, honey. Keep up with the times and all this. Oh man, where do we get these guys? Where do we get these fucking guys? What kind of asshole is he? I feel almost ashamed to be a man hearing this kind of story. You know, I'm embarrassed, actually, that's the word. I feel almost embarrassed being a guy hearing about this. Putting a girl down. He's in his mid-50s. Right, this guy grew up in the 60s, didn't he? Right, it's 50. He's mid-50. Let's say it's 55. He would have been born in the 60s, grew up in the 70s. 70s here, and these guys gone on about fucking plastic surgery. Jesus. I mean, I apologize to women out there that any guy does that to a woman. That's horrendous. Horrendous. And you know what? Why don't you get some plastic surgery, jerk off? Why don't you go get some Botox, lip fillers? You know? But I think the girl was so overwhelmed. She didn't say much to him, and I don't blame her either. She was probably so taken back with him. Like, huh? Is he actually saying these words to me? Like, what the hell? There's actually not much to say about this story. It's just tell you the story on this one. Like, where do you go with that? Where do you go with that? Now a woman is like, I get it. I feel for women out here. You're under a lot of pressure from just other women. You know, you gotta have the best dress, the best makeup, or best whatever. You know, and you're under a lot of pressure from women in general. Now you gotta deal with dickheads like this guy in his mid-50s. Jesus. Seriously, man. Seriously. Unbelievable. Oh, here we go. Another story. Girl takes 38 selfies on a first date. Let me say that again. She takes 38 selfies on a first date with a guy. The guy goes on a first date. They arrange to meet. He's like, yeah, man, she seems really, really cool. He goes into the bar. She's there already. As he walks into the bar, she's out with the phone, duck lips and all this sort of crap. And she's taking the poses. And all of a sudden he's like, oh, okay. And he did say, oh, maybe she's just kind of Snapchatting to someone now. Or she's told one of her friends that, oh, here I am in the bar and do I look okay? You know, he didn't judge her on this. He didn't say anything. You know, he was just like, oh, Jesus, can she just put the phone away? But it wasn't the end of the world. And all of a sudden she just starts taking out her phone. He said he counted 38 selfies. Now, this is before he actually counted the other ones, okay? Like, she was taking so many, she took other selfies before this. She was taking so many that he went, hang on a second. Let me do a count of this. Then he started counting. So this girl could have ended up taking 60, 70, 80 selfies before he even started counting with this. Like, 38 selfies? Isn't that boring? And who gives a damn? No one gives a damn about your selfie. They're not going to be staying up tonight, waking up at nightmares. They're like, oh my god, look how great Peter looks. Look how great Jennifer looks. Oh my god. Amazing. Look how terrible I look compared to Jennifer. You know what I mean? A lot of horseshit, man. A lot of horseshit. Anyway, I hope I never end up stumbling upon a girl who takes 38 selfies on a date. I hope anybody doesn't. I hope any of you guys doesn't have to do it. Jesus. Oh yeah, here's another one. Another good one. Don't show your phone to anybody, guys. You might have seen this on my social media last week. There was a girl talking about her... I think it was a girl. Apologies now if I got that wrong. It was either a girl or guy, obviously, but they had a partner. They were like at them about, I want to see your phone. Who are you on to? They didn't trust the person. Now, I would always say this. Never, ever show your phone to anyone. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm speaking from personal experience here. Excuse me. 5 or 6 years ago, I had a girlfriend and never showed her my phone. And I had nothing to hide. Never cheated on her. Nothing to hide anyway. And all of a sudden, she wants to see my phone out of nowhere. This is about month 4 into the relationship. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And she's wondering where I am. So eventually, after all, and I mean a huge amount of breaking my balls and a lot of pressure, I made the rookie mistake. I said, okay, here's my phone. Even as I'm handing it over, I couldn't fucking believe I'm doing it, but I just wanted her to shut her up. And you know what? It was the worst thing I ever did, because now she wanted to see it over and over and over and over. I literally just opened up the floodgates. Now look, I get it too. If anybody else has made that mistake where you actually take out your phone and you give it to your partner because they're killing you about it, I understand that you do want to. Believe me, I've been there myself. I know what you feel. It's understandable. Just shut them up. You don't shut them up. You don't reward bad behavior. But it was a great lesson that I learned in that time. All of a sudden, anyway, when I showed her my phone for the first time, she's kind of tapping and I'm like, what is she looking at? So I'm kind of looking like, are you done? So she gives me my phone back, and out of nowhere, conveniently, in the next couple of weeks, she knows every time I'm at work. She knows when I'm at my apartment. She knew exactly where I was all the time. Now, I'm thinking, right, Jesus, how does she know my location? And I'm thinking about my phone, but it didn't twig with me because I didn't know about the Find My app on your phone. So guys, anybody on TikTok here listening to this too, right? Or anybody on the podcast, Find My. That's an app on your phone for iPhone. I don't know what Android is, so sorry, I don't know, but maybe someone else would know. And what she did was she got her email. She shared my location. She turned that button on, share my location, and then she put my email or her email into it. So in other words, technically, I'm using my location and I'm using it for her, and I'm sending her, and she can now see where I am. She knew exactly where I was down to a T. She'd arrive up my doorstep out of nowhere. She'd come into the TV room, look around. Right? And I'm like, why is she looking around? What the hell is going on? Now, fair enough, guys. Maybe you think, geez, Peter, you're a bit dumb on that one. Wasn't it obvious what's going on? But she was so in my face and so at me, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. And it took me a while to actually just come around and figure out what the hell was going on. So eventually, after we broke up, she still had my location on my phone. She still goddamn had it. And I couldn't believe it, man. I really couldn't. I can't remember how I stumbled upon it again now. Maybe I'm tired, but anyway. The moment I found out that I saw it, I went, what the hell? And I know her email. And I saw her email, location turned on, and went, oh my God. So anyway, turned it off instantly. Within 5 minutes, I got a phone call. Or no, a text message or a phone call. I can't remember now. There was so much going on with her. But anyway, I ignored her, completely ignored her, but it was obvious. She didn't call me or text me once until all of a sudden she texted me or called me, whatever it was, when I turned off my location. So guys, if you have got an iPhone, check out Find My and make sure somebody who hasn't got into your fucking phone and shared your location with themselves, because wow, Jesus. So before we go back to TikTok here, guys, I'll be back in 1 minute. We're gonna go through some comments, but I want to close with this last story here for the podcast. A lot of guys, ladies, this is for the ladies here, a message to the girls. There is a lot of guys right now who've reported into me on TikTok last week. They are terrified of even approaching a woman in a bar these days. They're terrified. This is not a good area we're getting into here. There's too many people jumping onto this cancel culture crap, signing onto the hate speech stuff. There's too many people, quote, offended by what somebody says, right? There's too much of this going on because you know what? If this keeps going, and I know not every woman or every man is doing this, because I know there's men out there that would do this too, right? They join onto these ridiculous things. So I'm not having a go of women, but a lot of men were commenting last week about this. They don't know what to do anymore. I mean, there's a lot of shy men out there. They don't know what to do. They don't, like, even before all this cancel culture stuff, they were still shy to approach a woman in a bar or nightclub or in the local coffee shop girl, right? God knows who. They're still afraid, and now they're even more terrified. Not every guy, of course, but they are terrified. It's not a good place we're getting to here, guys. We're getting to a very, very grey, going towards dark area we're getting here with this approaching stuff. And if it keeps going, then all of a sudden, both men and women are going to be bitching and moaning that, hey, I never get chatted up anymore. Or, you know, geez, that girl stays well away from me. Why? What's this all about? Because then women will be terrified to talk to a guy or flirt with a guy. And then everybody's going to be pissed off at that then. You know? And guys, if there's any guys listening out here, drive on, boy. You drive on. Now, look, obviously if you're drunk and you're falling all over the place, no, I wouldn't be approaching women. But if you're okay, you know, you're relaxed, you're not drunk, you want to chat to a girl, you go in for it, man. And if they've got a problem, well, then you walk away. It's very simple. You walk away. You know, you don't be touching them. You don't be bothering them. Ladies, and please don't be jumping on the bandwagon here. I'm only talking about talking to a girl. Not hands all over you. I'm not inviting that. Not one bit. I'm just saying, hey, I'm Peter. Whatever. Something. Okay? Just a chat. That's what I'm on about. We need this. I mean, I even did a poll there last week, like we did here for the TikTok guys, and I did a poll, and it was, what is ruining the dating world right now? And there was all sorts of different poll results coming in, and it was people are thinking that people are too paranoid these days. Well, this is where this paranoid stuff is coming into it. People were thinking people are just too nervous now at this stage, which is understandable. A lot of people do feel nervous, like I'm just talking about. And okay, there's remote working too. That was another option. And the results were everywhere because I did it again, kind of like the poll I did a few minutes ago. And actually, well, let's do another one here, guys. So before I continue, guys, on TikTok here, we're going to do one more poll. What percentage of men send a dick pic? You've got 5 different options to choose from. Top left here, you see a poll with a countdown timer for 5 minutes. If you can give us your vote, guys, that would be great, please. Be interested to see again how it fares out this time. So, where was I? And yeah, it's getting weird out there, guys. There are people that are nervous. There are people that have lost their mojo going on a date. I don't think remote working is helping a lot of people either, because some people could be stuck in their pajamas all day, and well, why bother getting out of them? It's cold outside, it's raining outside, or you're grand and happy in your slippers, your pajamas, your dressing robe with your cup of tea, cup of coffee, you know? I understand that, but we've got to pull together, guys, and get out there again. It's good. It's good. Keep your mind fresh. And Yeah. We gotta keep going. We gotta keep going. So guys, I'm gonna stay on live TikTok here, okay? I'm gonna stay on here, but I'm gonna wrap up the podcast here. Anybody listen to the podcast? Thanks for listening, guys. And of course, we will be back with a lot more juicy stories and motor racing and a lot more. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye-bye.
Peter.
Walsh.